So I'm okay. So like, let me be very clear here. Let me be very clear. I'm not a huge fan of the double shield plus on a Genji comp. I made a flippin' entire, like, I already did Boston versus Paris review on King's Row. And in addition to that, I did a whole stupid Reddit post talking about, I think Boston scuffed up their angles. So I have a feeling that we're going to be talking a little bit more about, I mean, obviously a lot more about like the map control and angular pressure from Boston here, but I'm not going to go over and over and over again. I'm going to kind of point it out. Okay, they scuffed it up again here, and then we move on, because I'm pretty sure they scuff it up again here. It's been a while, and I don't remember watching super intently, but I'm pretty sure they scuff it up. So let's see like what compositions we see here. They're gonna scout, they're gonna scout, they're gonna scout. I think they just go BAP. They go BAP brig. BAP on a brig. Okay, without a BAP. That's fun. Okay, so the reason why people are playing Brawl here is because we can hard hold chokes, punish anybody walking through the choke with Mega Wall and stuff like that. And we have got like high damage bursts as well. And then what you do is you have Kree who can like control angles and put out sightline spam, D.Va who can control high ground here and like deny the enemy DPS from breaking, things like that. Now what Boston can do is we can push down, like, take angles here, like, and I guess what we could do is we could coach gun up here as Ashe pocketed with Faith. Faith would pocket Ashe and like let Ashe put pressure out here, because the problem with running a composition like this isn't just spam. This is a very immobile type spam, at least if you look at like the options that you have with spam. So with spam, you could run like Ball Sig, like gives you some mobility options. You could run like a Tracer variant, which Tracer isn't great in this comp. You could run like a Mercy Pocket who could hard pocket an Ashe here. You could run an Echo, which Echo and attack here isn't very good. But basically, like, you're trying to force a spam composition where you have limited options in breaking this choke. Because really, remember we flamed Boston for having Orisa Sigma stacked? Well, the problem here is Orisa Sigma basically kind of have to stack here. There's really nowhere else for Punk to go. He can only shoot through the choke. And then really, I'm37 is the only one that can actually put lethal pressure here. And you're like, oh, well, but Genji, like Spilo, Genji's mobile. He can do stuff too. But the problem with that is that, yeah, Genji's mobile. Let me actually start recording. The Genji's mobile, but also he's very low damage, very low pressure. Like we saw Valentine on King's Row and he was splitting off, but you know, a Genji putting pressure on an off angle is like, you know what I'm saying? It's good. He needs to be doing that. But when you compare it to the amount of pressure that other DPS heroes can put out, it's just not a lot. So this is going to be rough. You know, you're going to have Ana Brig mostly stacked in main. You're not even running a BAP who could theoretically come out here and put some pressure out. It's literally just Ana Brig stacked in main with Orisa Sigma. And what I assume will be I'm37 and Valentine taking angles up here. That's got to be the way they break this choke. Either that or they just hard farm a Nanoblade and just cheese it. But the problem with the Nanoblade is even with Nanoblade, Paris still has options. They have Beat. They have a D.Va, Ryan, who aren't very easy to kill with Nanoblade. They have Immortality Field. They have Freeze. They have a lot of heroes that, like with Ice Block, they're going to be difficult to get kills off of. So do you notice how Paris is split here? This is really important. Oh, they just go in. They just go in. Wow. So the thing with this is that as Paris, basically you can think of this as a good and a bad thing. You can look at this as a bad thing in the fact that Paris is just rushing through the choke and giving up all of their angles. In other words, they have no angles coming. Whoops. What was that noise? Help. I'm paranoid. Oh, there's not sufficient disk space to continue recording. Okay. We ran out of disk space. That paranoid me. I was like, stream's dead. No. Okay. So we stopped recording. But they don't really have good angles to push off of this, so this gives Paris the ability to, or Boston the ability to back out. But at the same time, Boston doesn't really have great angles to punish them either. So like they're gonna rush out here, but there's no real good Ashe safe position on high ground punching damage on you. Punk is in the middle of them, so we can't put damage out. So this is kind of like they're rushing things here, but it's in a way almost working out because Boston isn't really set up yet. Like I'm37 is not set up. Valentine is just now setting up, and we've got everybody in Boston like all clumped up. So this is going to be rough for Boston. Yeah, so they just W key right through. They throw the immortality field out. And because Boston doesn't have an immortality field, they can't survive that initial burst of damage. Like, the reason why immortality field is so strong is because, okay, they rush in. They've got about a second and a half to get kills before, like, look at Boston, look at Paris's HP here. They've got about a second and a half before Valentine and IM37 start to melt them, right? They start to put damage on the Ingles and they die. But because you don't have immortality field, you can't slow the team fight down. They just rush in and you can't stop them from just killing you instantly. With immortality field, you can stop them for a second, maybe a second or two, and that gives you enough time to be able to heal up. Like, look at how close Boston was to actually getting kills here. Can you imagine if they'd had immortality field? If this Ana or this BAP or whatever, or Brig had survived just 1 or 2 seconds longer. Hey Josh, good to see you, mate. If they had just lasted 1 or 2 seconds longer, completely different story here. And Paris's a little bit foolhardy aggression probably would not have worked out. And they actually still get a kill. And now they can rush further, and this is just horrendous. Because every kill that they get after their BAP dives gives time for their BAP to be able to come back. So, I really don't like... The reason they're running the Brig is because they probably want to be able to pocket their Ashe and Genji on the angle. But the risk is that you open yourself to just being W keyed at. So they're trying to adjust from what they learned on first, but this is still not acceptable. Yeah, exactly. Heard that also about lasting a bit longer. Like, this is why I don't like the Genji comp with this here, because you need a pocket for your Genji, which is going to be your Brig or a Mercy, right? Or a Zen maybe, but you also want Nano at the same time. So you can't have both. You're either running BAP Ana, and that allows you to survive the initial aggression, but your Genji doesn't get pocketed, neither does your Ashe, because you don't have ranged heal outside of Ana clicking and shooting, right? You prefer armor pack. But then if you go, okay, well, we're gonna run this, you know, we're gonna run a pack hero like Brig, well, then now you just open yourself to being run over. So you can't have Nano and a pocket for DPS at the same time without losing your core in the meantime. So this is just, I just don't like this comp, chat. I just don't like this comp. Like, at least you're gonna have to find a way to adjust to not get rushed here, because this comp is way too vulnerable to being rushed because you do not have immortality to slow them down. He didn't get it. Connor. I swear. Worst roster decision I ever made in my life. I don't know what this is at all. This is just feeding. Like, I just don't understand what I'm doing. Like, there's nobody on the enemy. There's nobody that Paris has to look for right now. They only are like standing AFK here because there's no pressure from main. So everyone's just like, okay, well, okay, there's a free Ashe. So, yeah.
Time to raise my APM.
Okay. It looks like Boston wants to do the same thing again, or they're looking for opportunities to push, especially because that the Ashe is dead. There's the Maywall induction noise, so Naga's looking for a Maywall. Honestly, they might just do it again. Like, they're going to do it again. So what Boston needs to do here is, like, especially because they don't have any ultimates and they still don't have immortality field, they probably want to anticipate that rush by having, like, maybe a DPS up here or support up here. Maybe at the very least you don't just W key in. Like, you need to be almost like split, anticipating them to rush early. There's the wall. The wall doesn't, they say, yeah, so that was good. This is good of Boston. Do you see it? They like bait it with Orisa, but then if they had pushed in on the Orisa, they're split. They're not all stacked like they were before. They're split, and Genji's on top. The problem is you still are not breaking choke. You're still not breaking choke. Genji goes in. They can literally just turn around and kill Genji, because this is the difference between Genji and Tracer. Genji goes in, well, you can chase a Genji, you can't chase a Tracer. 90% sure Boston is trolling? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. So Boston does a good job synchronizing their pressure. They do a really good job synchronizing their pressure out on main and off in the angle. This is how Boston is going to break this choke. This is the only way how. Valentine does something stupid. I probably would have preferred, I don't know what I would have preferred. I think Valentine going here is fine. But this is the only way this works. This is the only way this works. The problem with this, though, is that really, I don't think Elivote should be chasing this. This is, I think, a mistake from Elivote. So Elivote's like, oh, Genji's low. But the problem with Genji is that he's either in and killable, or he's out and doing nothing. Think about it this way. If you are Paris here, You have a window to kill Genji right now. You can turn and kill Genji. Oh no, you failed to kill Genji. Unfortunate. Now you can ignore Genji. Because Genji behind you isn't enough pressure to warrant you turning around. He doesn't do enough damage. You see what I'm saying? Like you force dash, deflect, he's half HP, and he's slow. So Elliot right now, especially with this deflect, needs to turn around and assist her team. Now, Elliot will kill Genji if she wanted to, or he wanted to, right? It's going to happen, right? But it's not necessarily what the Genji is going to do if you ignore him. It's more the fact of like what the rest of the enemy team, like what you need, what your matrix could be. Do you want to matrix a Genji in the backline with no deflect, no dash, out of position, half HP, or do you want to matrix and pressure this? And to me, the answer is pretty clear. So Elliot chasing this is indeed a mistake, and even worse, Neptuno also abandons and goes to assist. This is a mistake. This is a mistake. Thankfully, they all pin cushion Dawn, and Khan stays alive. But I'm really concerned about like the way Paris is playing. This is not correct. Also, Oni God is mispositioned as well. He needs to get the heck off of main. They're still after Genji. Somehow they managed to survive. And they just die anyway. Faith is in. That's questionable. That's very questionable. So that was just a bad beat from Neptuno. There's only 3 members of the enemy team alive. And you've just shattered the Ana, pinned the Ana, and the rest of your team is like full HP. This is a really bad beat. Okay, so let's look at this right. Let's look at this right from here. So first off, over pursuit on the Genji, problematic, definitely problematic. Okay. The Genji will kill 6 with his ult. Kaya, yeah, exactly. Okay, Naga wastes his wall earlier to rush in, so that means they don't have wall now. And that's problematic. The wall here completely shuts us down. So this is why I think Paris going for this wall here on the Orisa, Naga got baited. That's a big no-no. You cannot do that. You wait for like if you're gonna go for one proactive push, great, it's gonna work. Now they anticipate it. Now you just need to play it normally. Just sit here and wall. Like legit. What are they gonna do? What is this composition going to do to break choke? There's nothing they can do. All they can do is send Genji behind, which you don't even care about. Okay, so lack of wall here is bad. And because we have Lucio and D.Va chasing a Genji on an off angle, this gives Boston the opportunity to push an off angle. Now, what I don't like is this sissy behavior from Boston right now. They need to see, so they deal with Dawn, brilliant. They should keep pushing. You need to keep pushing. You have space, keep pushing. Naga needs to get his flippin' block force here. This is a 3v1. You've removed Dawn from the choke. You've seen D.Va and Lucy off pursuing who knows what. You need to keep pushing here. Like, this is way, way too passive here. And ultimately, it gives them a wall opportunity as well, which should not have happened. You should have walked through the choke. So this is bad from Boston. Take space when you need to take space. If you need to take space, take space. When your tracer is in the backline, Genji's in the backline, and they're all turning on the tracer, that's your opportunity to walk through the choke. Because once you walk through the choke, your Orisa Sigma troll comp actually can work. Because what you do is you walk through the choke, your Sigma goes up to high ground, you start to set up your splits, and now the Reinhardt comp, which is good in sight lines like this and chokes, is not having to deal with an Orisa comp that has space like this. You see it, chat? You've booped Dawn out of the choke. Valentine baited D.Va and Lucio all the way out of the fight. Now your Orisa can W key in, your Sigma can come in, your Ana can take high ground, your Brig can take high ground. Like you can start to spread out. So you run a flanker to create space, a distraction, so that you can actually walk through a choke. You had your window of opportunity, you missed your window of opportunity, and now this is not looking good for Boston. And ultimately, stand 1 dies to it like a damage boosted icicle. Like, can you imagine if they'd actually pushed out here? Like, can you imagine like the nade opportunities Myeonbong would have had here? So they flux. Iron 37 gets an Ingle, but obviously because his team is still stuck in choke, he's not getting support, he's not getting pressure. There's the flux. They smash the flux. Faith is just honestly just going in, like a little bit questionable. He's going to get squishies. He's trying to get squishies, but then this is a really good shatter. The beat is not good. The fight was won. So TLDR, Valentine basically was forced to go in a hard flank just to break the choke. He pulled a lot of attention, too much attention. That's a mistake from Ellie Boat Neptuno. Boston, instead of exploiting that space, let stand 1 go in by himself and let him be. Even though they had a Reinhardt off of the choke. They removed Reinhardt off the choke. So that's a mistake from Punk, Faith, Myeonbong. That whole thing was just a train wreck. And what ends up happening is stand 1 in the fight. Like, if Boston had pushed here, they probably would have won the fight. Let me be very clear. When their flanker had created space, if they had pushed it, they would have won the fight. The only other thing that's worth noting there at the end is, of course, the beat that was completely unnecessary. It was a 4 versus 2, and everybody was full HP. So that sucks, because now that gives them a blade opportunity, which you wouldn't like to have. Maybe you saw Nano and you're like, hey, I could just use beat for free here, but obviously Valentine has already proven that he doesn't need Nano to make blade work. Okay, so this is a blade setup. This is a blade setup. This is, hey, we know that they have Bob. We know that they might have Bongo. They're probably anticipating Bongo blade. You got 2 different ways of initiating with that. Out-tempo them, rush in before they even set it up, or absorb it and try and force splits. And you can see how Boston is doing is they're forcing splits here. Now, the problem with this is, remember, your main advantage over Boston is your ability to brawl with the choke. So if you look at a hero like Reinhardt and heroes like Mei, their main advantage is just smashing and teeth in. And if you guys are scared of that kind of play style, because Blade and Rally are on the table, then you end up having to play in a way that's more favorable for the enemy composition. In other words, Paris is playing this almost like they're playing a spam comp now. Do you see the splits here? Do you see how far away McCree is? Do you see how Diva's position? Do you see how Bap's position? They're all like played split. They're all not just split, but they're split in long sidelines, far away. And a comp that's running, Arista Sigma and an Ashe likes those long sidelines. So Boston should win this fight. It should win this fight. Unless this Blizzard gets like ridiculous value, you have a lot of tools to win this fight because of how far these splits are. So let's see what happens. There's the passive. He's looking for a wall. There's the wall. But you see how they're not able to push off of that? That's a good wall. Stand 1 would instantly blow up, but it's not going to happen. Great kill. Somehow Naga just scuffs it. So Naga just scuffs this one hard. There's the wall. And he just dies. He just straight up dies. Naga just straight up feeds. He not only does he not ice block, he tries to ice block into a fortified Orisa. Now, to be clear, he was probably trying to zone choke, but this is obviously low return on investment because there's no guarantee that this gets anybody. But he also dies and wastes his ult at the same time. Like, this is dire straits. This is a horrendous error from Naga. This just can't happen. Like, you scuffed up wall last time. It happens. Go next. You got a good wall this time, but now you've wasted your ultimate and died unnecessarily when you had ice block. So what I would have liked from Naga is really the clear play here is the wall. You do not go in here and freeze. You do not go in here and freeze. You just right click. Remember chat, you see how they're positioned? Is Boston or Paris set up to rush this? No, they're not. They're almost set up to spam this and hope that they're at some point maybe they can rush. So instead, Naga goes in, when he should have been going, just right click, make their burn cooldowns, make that Orisa Force fortify, make them all break choke, force rally, and then just kite away, and then you can spam from here, and then look for a blizzard here. But instead, he stays in aggressive and dies as a result. And and obviously the mechanical or the micro error of just not ice blocking and wasting ult. So that sucks. That was not good setup. In terms of actual leading up to him dying, that was not good, and then obviously dying with ult, that sucks too. So unfortunate. There's the bongo. That's not good. There's the counter window. But you can kind of see the issue here is even though IM37 is dead here, worn out shift key, yeah, pretty much. Now that IM37 is dead, what Paris can do is they can start to kind of spread out and take space. So you know, Myunbong has space, Orisa Sigma have space. Punk really, so they're trying to push into window here, which is why they're shifting in. But this is sketch, man. And they're pushing in with the blade. You guys see this? You see Punk's position? You see Faith's positioning? It's just over. Like, there's nothing. Like, once May died there, you just lost to Qs. You lost to this Q. You lost to this Q. You lost to this Q. It's over. The only thing I think could have been played better is, oh no, Fire Strike bug. There it is, chat. The only thing I could have said is maybe like this window was a little bit ambitious in terms of positioning. You would have liked a little bit more distance, right? Because remember, because you're down your May, because they're out of the choke, and because they're rallying, in a way now they're the better brawl comp. It's one of the few times where you can actually say that. And ultimately, I think the bomb should have been used towards your own backline. In other words, if you're gonna counter bomb a blade push, this is something for divas to know. If you're counter bombing a blade push, don't bomb the enemy core, bomb your backline, right? Think about a bomb right here. It could have potentially killed Valentine. It had a very high chance of killing Punk and Faith as well. But not only that, it would have basically just stopped Paris or Boston from pushing during the first couple of seconds, and that's crucial. Did they have to group up like that? Paris? Certainly not. No. He was bombing the bongo, right? But I want to bomb. He was absolutely bombing the bongo, but I want to bomb the blade. I want to bomb the blade. We can kite the bongo. We can hide from bongo. Hiding from blade's a lot harder. Bombing the bong. But like, I look at this tempo here and I'm like, nah, I don't bomb this. This is the crap that's scary to me. Hey, Fenzi. So the bomb should have been on the blade, not should have been on the bongo. Myung Bong Bong. He bombed the bongo and the bong. He should have been bombing the blade. I got codes. Don sent me codes. Fenzi, you're really loud. He's not only really loud, he's really bad. You know, also this is coming from Dentist. A man unironically named Dentist. That is his name.
Objective lost.
Pipe down.
New defense point. Objective B.
All right. So chat, you guys are geniuses, okay? You guys aren't stupid, all right? How does Boston play this, and how does Paris play this? Do you think Paris is going to spread out in this composition at this point? Yeah, Dentist. They're grouping up because they all kited in the same direction. I mean, it really is just a result. So I don't want to overanalyze it. It's Naga dying. Naga shouldn't have died. Naga had Blizzard. Naga had a good position, and Naga dies with Ice Block and wastes Blizzard and just lets Boston have all the space. Because like again, once Boston is out in open space, their comp is just better. But yeah, how does Boston? Well, first off, how does Paris play this? Yeah, Boston needs to split push. Like, Boston needs to, like, I don't even know what Boston does here, but Boston probably, like, Boston needs to, like, bait and engage here, spam out. I honestly don't know, chat. The only thing I can think is that maybe you could put, like, your Sigma play, like, really passively here, and maybe, like, you go to, like, put your I don't know, like, put your Ashe here, like, in offing. Chat, I'm gonna be honest. Their comp just is awful here. There's just no way to even start to walk through a choke. Like, if you're gonna at least split, you have to try and split. You cannot do this. You just can't. Like, you just can't. There's just no way that this is going to work. You have to somehow find a way to split your Genji off here with maybe some Brig packs and put some pressure on Ashe. Maybe try and split your Sigma here. I mean, that's really risky. You could get rushed, but like, you don't have an option here. Like, you're playing Brig into Brawl because they're using the Brig to pocket the Genji and to pocket the Ashe. which is where I would have been like, well, just play Mercy. Like if they had okay, listen, one swap from Boston would have made their comp like 10 times better. What swap could they have done to make their comp 10 times better? Off of Brig to what hero? In my opinion. What hero would you play instead of Brig to Mercy? Yes, Mercy. What could you have done with Mercy? I know I ruined it. I know. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, you could legit pocket Ashe and send her like over here or way over here. Right? On an angle and actually allow your tanks to take space. Yeah, you could pocket Ashe all the way over here and be like mobile and flanky and heavy spam. But you're not going to break the choke like this. You're not going to break the choke like this. Because, yeah, there is logic why they pick Brig, but you do make a point. Brig into Brawl is rough. Like, it's rough. It's really, really rough. So this is just over. Like, honestly, Paris doesn't even need to use ult here. This is just garbage. How do they know when to go? Was Dawn third personing? Yeah, so we can't see. Dawn is definitely third personing, but we can't see because we can't turn our thing. He says, uno, dos, tres, señores. El Dorado! And they're all dead. Like Bob or not. But hey, Bob. Oh no, we're all way. Oh, just kidding. Immortality field. We have a full second to just swing as much as we can. And Boston does not have a full second. Boston has no seconds because they have an Ana, no BAP. Yeah, Brig into Brawl is tough. Look at that. Not a single person. Oh, I say that and Dawn dies. But yeah, it's just awful. And are they going to stagger Myeonbong? Yeah, they're trying to stagger Myeonbong. Because they know he has nano. Okay. But yeah, they absolutely need to go Mercy here. And okay, good gosh, guys. To make matters worse, or not worse, but certainly not better, they go Kree. Now, chat, why is the McCree not any better at all? What's the problem with McCree? You can't find a flank, right? Did they build Blade in one fight? Basically, yeah. Valentine popped. We'll look at Valentine's POV in just a second. There's no movement. There's no mobility. Like where you're gonna split here as McCree, and like what are you gonna shoot? You have no coach gun. Your sightlines are short, so in other words, you could get here maybe somehow fly. You could fly here, and you'd still be no good. But yeah, let's look at Valentine POV here. Valentine. So to be fair, he did build up some Blade and cleanup last fight. But let's check this sucker out. He dashes through. There's the off angle. He deflects. Should probably just dash through this. Yeah. I mean, he just off angles. He just off angles. Hey, you get? Oh, I don't know. I'll eat some in a second. Honestly, I'm starving them. Honestly, you can just do it now.
You can?
Yeah, let's do it now. Screw it. Again, the floating fire strike. Like, just what? Youngblock, watch out! Okay. Yeah. How they counter Nanoblade? Beat. Beat. And we saw it last time. They split up against the Blade, and it worked okay until they clumped because Naga fed. So that was not good. And now, you know, Boston's gonna have to run into an ult play game. Like, they have Nanoblade, but Paris could just go, hey, we're gonna beat in and kill you guys. You guys can kill us, but we don't even care. So this is better. They're baiting wall. Is Stan 1 even gonna survive though? This is so bad. This is so frustrating. This is a great wall. But again, this is the issue with running low damage and no immortality field. Look at this wall, chat. Look at this wall. What's the big deal with this wall? What's the problem with this wall? Or what's the good thing about this wall? It's lengthwise. Yeah, you have to break all 5. So look at this. This is just gonna be fun. They don't even try to break it. I mean, you could have definitely gotten immortality field right here. You could have squeezed it in right here. But, you know, again, no immortality field. They're not even using ultimates. We're seeing Boston clump as 6 because their comp is bad. And Paris just clumps as 6 and runs through. And easy win. Over and over and over and over again. We saw this on King's Row. We're seeing it again now. Hey, thank you. What? Nice job. How'd it go? Chat, they don't know. That's good. Okay. That's good, I guess. Chat. This is just delightful. This is delightful. I'm sorry, chat. I'm just gonna eat, and you guys are just gonna enjoy this POV as I'm chewing down on beef. Okay? Enjoy.
Bad guys. Let them up.
It's over. Like, it's over. Like, it's over for Boston. It's done. You have 2 minutes. And it's over. Like, first off, a great pincer rush play from Paris. So this is seriously like gutsy right here, right? They know they have nano blades, so they decided to just switch it up, you know? And I'm 37 just gets one shot. Bang. Wait, does Faith check the corner? Hang on, chat. I swear Faith like whips around for a second. Oh, Chad, look! This is what he sees. Oh my gosh. He was an inch, like, I mean, a millimeter away from seeing these guys. Oh my gosh, you could see a flash of Khan's shoe. That's hilarious. Okay, so they whip around, they miss the scouting, and they get annihilated. And then to make matters worse, they're down 2, and then they nanoblade. And what's the issue here, chat? Because first off, the fight's lost, like it's just over. But what's the major issue here? It's not just you're wasting an ultimate. Even if, listen to me, even if Valentine kills 6 here, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You could unironically have the greatest blade in the history of the world and kill 6. And it wouldn't matter. It's a waste. It's 2 CP. You have to start all over again because you're not gonna, like, look, especially where the fight's happening. Like, look at where it's happening. It's in your own spawn. Like, they're gonna be out in the spawn, like smoking cigarettes and, like, you know, birthing children by the time you actually get there. Like, you're not getting there anytime soon. So it's done, and that's it. Like, that's Boston. GG's. Like, Neptune was like, I don't even care if they nanoblade. I'm not gonna even use beat. Like, why would I use beat for that? And look, oh guys, we broke the choke. Oh, nice, nanoblade Valentine. We kind of broke the choke. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You're still standing right here. We're gonna walk out and rush you all over again. In 3, 2, 1. Bingo! Bye, punk. And they just run. They just W key right on in. And once again, because Boston is playing such a low damage spam comp with Ana, Genji, and McCree, even though Paris throws fundamental Overwatch in the dumpster by just running in without any angles, without any flanks, they just literally just W key through a choke into the middle of the enemy team. They can get away with it because who's gonna punish them? Ana? There's no immortality field. Like, what's Jin doing right now? What's McCree doing? No damage whatsoever. No sightline. He's scared for his life because he at any point in time can be run over. It's just bad. This is just bad. They literally just walk through a choke into the middle of Boston, the ultimate BM, and it doesn't matter. They get 2 kills, whopping 2 kills, and the entire enemy team is wiped. I don't know, Income. I do not know. A panic, most likely just panic. Just a bad decision in the heat of the moment. That's all. And, you know, now they go, okay, this is the best part. Now they go brawl. Now they go brawl. Last fight.
Matrix activated.
And, you know,
Remaining.
It's high noon. Draw.
but ultimately, this is why rotating straight to point generally doesn't work against most compositions. Like, obviously, Boston just had to try for something. I don't blame Boston at all for doing what they're doing now. I think this is probably the best thing that they could have done. But why do you think this is not going to work? Why is this unlikely to work? Do you see it, chat? Why do you think teams path high ground? If you guys ever played Hanamura, if you've ever walked down main, walking down main almost never works. It's over Anakin. Yeah, exactly. I have the high ground. I have the high ground. Look at the positioning here. Where does Boston hide? There's nowhere. It's over. So, that's that. Maybe they nanobladed because they knew they were switching. I think saving nanoblade, like the only way Paris wins this, or Boston wins this, is if Boston does this. Boston says, we lose this fight, that's okay, but next fight we're literally going to have 6 ultimates. Maybe we can win a 6 ult fight. Maybe we can win a 6 ult. Maybe we can nano, maybe we can rally just to survive, rush out nanoblade flux plus bongo and literally just one-shot everybody through blade or meat. Like, that's the only way you cap this here. When you use your nanoblade now, you just have to swap. Like, at this point in time, I probably would have swapped, but no, they even stay for another fight. So, yeah. I'm not saying it's good. They have Blizzard beat Immortality Field, but it's the only way that you could have potentially clutched that fight. So, it really, this is where Paris, like Boston's macro isn't great, but I think their composition is just significantly worse. Like, it's even worse than it was in King's Row, because with King's Row, it felt like, okay, there were some high grounds to abuse, but in Hanamura first, and Hanamura second, there are no angles for you to push up against spam. Certainly not with the Bat Brig or the Ana Brig Genji. You would have needed to go Mercy. You would have needed to go Tracer. Not Tracer. Tracer would not have been good. You would have needed to go Ashe with Mercy. You would have needed to go maybe Ashe plus Echo. Like some sort of heavier damage to break it. Otherwise, you're not breaking choke. Or you mirror brawl. Yeah. So Boston holds here. Now, chat, what is the good thing about Boston's hold here? What is great about Boston's hold here? Or let's just take a moment to admire the composition here. Admire or critique the composition. What do you think is good about Boston running this comp now? I'm gonna mute while I eat a little bit. Yep. Yep. You already have the positioning here, so you can set up all the DPS sightlines that you want. The problem with this first point here is that your sightlines are garbage. You run Orisa Sigma Ashe, what can they see here? The only way Ashe can see anything is by coach gunning up here. This, Orisa Sigma Ashe, Ana, they can all see corrupt. They have great sightlines. They have high ground, long sightlines. Was Boston purposefully throwing? Handicapping themselves to expose weaknesses in a show match? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know what Boston's logic there was. It is so bizarre to me that I am considering that they were either just testing or trying out a composition, or they were doing something like, it could be very well that Boston just wanted to try out this composition. My problem with it is that I feel like they played it poorly. Like, fundamentally. Not even like micro, just big stuff. They scuffed it up. But anyway, I don't know Valkyrian. I don't know why they're not running BAP. I think BAP Brig like Bongo Blade or Lamp Blade or Rally Blade or Bob Blade or Flux Blade are all just fine enough. I agree that the Ana is problematic for me as well. I don't know. Now, what Paris's win condition is here is unusual. Because what have you, if you could describe what Paris has done all of the last on their defense, what has it been? What have they done? They've literally just rushed down, run it down mid, run it down mid, run it down mid, run it down mid, over and over and over again. Now, they're running a comp that is, interestingly enough, W, exactly, that doesn't do very well with that. So when you're running a Symmetra, you're not, you might be able to run it, but if you're TPing to point, you really just want to sit on point, force Boston to come to you, and then you push them once they come to you. But Paris's job here is to avoid damage, to TP to high ground or TP to point, to avoid damage at all points, like at all costs. And then Boston needs to be able to set up angles. So like I'm can play here with Brig, Harissa can play here, Sig can kind of swing this way and spam them out from as many different sightlines as possible. Ryan Harissa better with Sim? No, because you need a diva to be able to deal with the offense. Because if you have a Ryan Harissa, who's going to stop I'm37 from sitting up here and pumping damage on you? Because Harissa's shield breaks like this anyway. I would prefer Matrix and mobility over another shield that's only like 600 HP. So we will see. They TP. They make the TP. Now they need to immediately drop to point and turtle. They actually double back, interestingly enough. So they try and double back and they try and kill Ana. This is actually a really smart rotation. So Myeongbong messes up. Myeongbong sits here, pumping in spam, whatever. But then he realizes that, oh, they're doubling back on me. Now, what I think Myeongbong should have done is I think Myeongbong should not have played as far up as he was there. I think Myeongbong should have played here. If he's here, then there is no way for them to chase him down and kill him. This is much better. Brig stands here with shield, Ana stands here. You can pocket your Ashe, you can pocket your Genji, and you're a lot safer.
Are you recording?
Why? No. Freak. I like your shirt. I'm actually wearing a matching shirt. I'm wearing the yellow one,
Oh,
yeah.
I popped your earbud out.
Oh, that's fine.
That's all.
But yeah, Ana Brig, thank you. Ana Brig like are totally like safe if they play a little further back. They don't need to be closer here. So this is a mistake from Myeongbong. And then he's like, oh shoot, I can't run away, so now I have to just like run in and hopefully rotate around. But they smash him. Now, it costs Lamp because the angles here are obviously brutal. Was Lamp necessary? Let me see. Was Lamp necessary? Fair enough. Yeah, that was fair. That was a big dynamite. So now, chat, what does Paris need to do here? This is really important. And this is where, if I remember correctly, I think Paris played this one poorly. I think Paris scuffed this one up. What does Paris need to do right now? Can we add hugs to spin chat on? Yeah. Yeah, just chill. Just chill. Just chill. Play the corner. I would get rid of I'm37 for sure. Spam him out, boop him out, because he's gonna be so easy to clear. And then just chill. Set up whatever turrets you have on point here. Player on cover. Like, but there's no way Boston should win this, and I'm pretty sure they do. So there, they got rid of Ashe. Dawn is showing a lot of shield right now. This is a mistake. Dawn needs to be chilling. Again, chilling here, and then you could have all of Paris right now putting emphasis on Valentine right now. And really, Elivote is chasing too far as well. Like, Elivote has consistently done this. He did this the previous fight, and now he's doing it this fight as well. It's good that he's focusing on I'm37, but all you need to do is get rid of I'm37. And then right now, don't overextend. Like, there's way too much overextension here. And on Khan especially. Khan should not be chasing the... Like, you've done your job. You've cleared the space. Now just chill. And Dawn is still showing... Dawn and Khan. Dawn is showing so much shield. Like, that's just silly. That is just very, very silly. You have the map, you're capping point. Just clear out the angles and chill. Clear out the angles and chill. Instead we have BAP and D.Va overextend. Ryan gets no support, and Ryan shouldn't even be here. Yeah, that's just very, very silly. Wasted Maywall and Ryan shield and Ryan dies, and this entire time you guys still have not regenerated from that initial push. This is just very poor from Paris. You had the space, you had your win condition accomplished, and now your ability to push is gimped. Like, I honestly don't even want to watch the rest of this fight, because like I'm sure Paris is going to continue to make errors here. Like again here, like this extension here. Why are you extending that far out? You push them out, you go back. You push the next person, you go back. You push them out, you go back. It's constant short pushes. Push the Sigma out, push the Genji out, Genji, and then go back and push the rest of Brig. Like Faith should not be allowed to stand here. Like Faith is in the middle of the enemy team because we're overextending, chasing things like Punk. Like Punk is not killable. Punk is outside of your point. Like you can't kill him. Clear point, cap point. And where's Elivote? What is Elivote doing? And really, again, Elivote is overextending as well. So, yeah, this is a disaster. Okay, let me describe what I want Paris to do. So Paris's job is... Paris gets inside a bunker. They TP inside the bunker. They even go out and chase outside the bunker and get one free easy kill. Congratulations. You go in the bunker. Now you sit. Now right now, you're going to have little bad guys coming out all around you, punching and jabbing at you. Either just poke at you, just stall a point, whatever. All Paris has to do, or all they have to do is punch, okay? Punch, punch, okay? Punch, okay? Punch, and to keep them out. And every single time you punch, you maybe get a kill. You maybe get a freeze. You maybe get a CC. You maybe get a bash or a swing or something like that. Every single time you do that, it works. If you don't, even if you don't get any more kills, what's happening as you knock them out? More cap, more cap, more cap, more cap, more cap. Let's put it this way. There's zombies trying to get inside your house, and you slam the door on them. Bang! But there's a bunch of hands. When you're pushing the hands out of the way to slam the door, you don't push the hand out and then walk into the middle of the zombies and keep shoving. No, you shove just enough to get that zombie to pull his hand back out so that you can slam the door and cap point. That's the goal. What we've seen with Paris is they're continually shoving the zombie arms out of the way, good, but then escorting the zombie out all the way to inside his house. And meanwhile, and the worst part about it is that while Paris is doing that, it's D.Va pushing this way, and May pushing this way, and Lucio pushing this way, and Dawn is not getting healing over here, and apparently we're just jiving, okay? And now you've got everybody split out, extending way too far, and then all of a sudden you're giving the zombies angles on you by pushing way out into the open here. The whole point of the symmetric comp is to get to point, make them come to you, and you smack the crap out of anybody that comes to you. Okay? That's the goal. Okay? Hey, whoa. Okay. Okay. That's a zombie. That's the goal. And instead we have Paris. They get their goal. Congratulations. But then they start overextending and chasing. That's the goal. Did I get a hoodie to commemorate my senior's discount? Shame on you. Shame on you. So just not well played by Paris at all. Good job by Boston. Credit where credit is due. You know? And losing the first fight without getting a single tick is really, like, you got a free kill on Ana, and you got the TP to point safely, and you didn't even get a single tick. Like, you can't, like, you could not have misplayed that more. Like, that is shameful for Paris. Just shameful. And obviously the bad thing too is that you used an ultimate and Boston didn't use crap, and now Boston now they're not just normal zombies, they're super zombies, because they've got, you know, Blade, Nanoblade soon, they've got Bob, they got Bongo, they got Flux, they got Riley, so they can crank up the heat inside the furnace a lot. And what does Paris have? Immortality Field, Simwall. Simwall is big, but that's about it. And beat Zoom. Whoa, how's Dawn's shield so low already? Nah, that is very, very sloppy. You have to peek. You can, first off, he doesn't need to be showing shield at all to scout, and that Symmetra teleport timing is slow as molasses, man. Symmetra's not even there yet. Look, chat. Look. By the time Symmetra even starts to set up the teleporter, look at Dawn's shield. Come on, Dawn. You're better than this. You have no shield. And now they have no shield. Now it's just GG's. Like, you're gonna have to beat so fast here if you even get beat. But yeah, I'm 37 Bobs. Let me critique this Bob here. I think this Bob is mispositioned. I don't think it's bad, but it could be better. Well, actually, it depends.
Bob, do something.
Okay, so he gets a slightly worse bob. I do think bobbing the angle would have been better here. So the reason why he bobs here into the middle of the enemy team is because you want to try and hit TP, but he does it a little late, and ultimately it only catches Dawn. And then the worst part about it is now you see what Elivote is matrixing? Literally everything, basically. So I would probably have preferred I'm 37 to bob this way, and you would have caught somebody. I guarantee you catch them, because they're not just gonna TP and sit there. They're gonna TP and move. So it should have come smack. I would have smacked, you know, Onigot and come this way. This would have been a better angle. You're just mad he made such a good joke at your expense? I don't know what you're talking about. So yeah, I mean, this is just a disaster. Like, there's no. Now they do survive this. Chat. Yeah, I don't know. There's just nothing you can do here. Like, that's 1, 2, 3, 4 ultimates, and you only had the 2. That's not gonna work. And you had no shield as well. So, I mean, this is really Paris's fight to lose here. They're gonna have Blizzard Shatter, and more importantly, the only thing you really have to worry about is Bongo. I mean, honestly, Boston could still win this one. Like, the fact that they lost first fight is really putting them on the back foot here. TP is gonna be better. Ooh, crispy! I forgot about this, chat. This is hilarious. This is all you need to see for just like for the laughs. Check this out. Do you see the problem? I think he's talking about the Okaz question, my senior's discount. Yeah, this is my senior hoodie, okay? My senior high school hoodie. I was a little shorter then, and so the sleeves are a little short, but but you can use this. Is pretty funny. Check out the Orisa. But yeah, this is really heads up play from Paris. Nice play. You fake rotate. Ooh, this is sketch though. But can they stabilize? They don't. That's okay. You used no ultimates, you got 2, and you almost won the fight anyway. Retake it. Your life has been Watsed. I agree, you have Watsed your life a lot. You need to work on not Watseding your life. But yeah, losing that cleanly means that Boston is just not going to have any ults here. Ah! Whoa. Okay, this is a thing. Just run in Blizzard. Yeah, they just annihilate them. No, I'm 37. No.
Do something.
All right. Well, I mean, this fight was lost either way. Questionable blade. It almost works, but I don't. Maybe if the Bob had landed, but yeah. Boston just gets, honestly, that was just a really good play by Paris, and Boston kind of scuffs it up. So like, can we look at like how does Myeonbong die again here? Could Myeonbong has played this better? Yeah, he kind of overstays his welcome a little bit, honestly. Like, and his kite path is weird. Like, he just kind of holds his ground. Like, he should know better than holding his ground here. Like, this is, you have no ults. You have no real reason to hold your ground here. And he whiffs Sleep Dart into Matrix, and he whiffs his nade as well. That's not good from Myeonbong. That's not good from Myeonbong. Myeonbong needed to kite off, drop. He's going to die, but at least make it more expensive. Because remember, if you can bait them off this way and land your sleep dart and land your nade and survive like a full second longer, like that's going to make, you're going to die. Because Rush can kill anybody they want to, but you're going to make it so expensive. So that's Myeonbong's mistake again, positionally. Because if you look at the rest of Boston here, they're all pretty well positioned. Like Punk should be able to hold here. It should be expensive to rush him. But, you know, another symptom of running Ana here. Like, we've had Myeonbong die so many times. So many times Myeonbong has died. So many times. And now... So if I'm Paris here, I don't think I actually want to push the point until I get my window. I think I want to wait. Like, we know we're going to hit an ult spike here. I would love to get wall here. And I'd love to be able to get closer to my beat, I think. So this is a normal TP play. Pretty predictable. And they're gonna window here just to cause a little bit of space. And this is good on Ellie Vote. Good that he's not over pursuing. I mean, Boston seems pretty well set up for this, honestly. Like, I think the only thing to nitpick is obviously if we could get Myeonbong up top, that would be the play. But even then, that's risky because you can risk being TP'd on, and that's obviously a little scary. I don't know Molfig. I think Myeonbong is positioned poorly. Like what you could think about on first is you could say like Myeonbong could like start here, legit could start here, or he could start like the only reason he wouldn't want to be here is because of like the TP threat, but. I'm not sure. So they're gonna go this way. I'm trying to think about this. Like, I don't love this from Paris, honestly. They don't have enough ultimates to be able to just go to point. Like, even though, like, they have to know Boston is close to both Tinkles, right? They have to know they're close to Tinkles. So to me, I'm like, I like this setup for Boston. I think Boston. Okay, wait, Myeonbong is up here. Yeah, he just drops because of TP threat. But I don't like Paris's play here. I think Paris needs to build sim wall so they can just go to point and just turtle on point, because then the off angles don't matter because sim wall is busted. Or you would need to, honestly, you could probably here it is, chat. Here it is. Here's my thought process on this. I think if you don't have a glut of ultimates or at least sim wall, I don't think you can go straight to point. I think this TP to this side and then going here only works if you have a glut of ultimates. I think if you don't have a lot of ultimates, you either need a TP here and clear high ground this way and then maybe take it from here, or just do a standard go right side. Boston can't stop you from going here. They're not going to win the fight here. Boston don't have enough damage. They don't have any tools to punish high ground. You're going to get high ground for free, and you're not going to have to use anything. And then you can drop from here. Like, you can drop from here. You could even spam, like, you can prevent I'm 37 or Valentine or whatever from standing up here at the start. Otherwise, you can't. Yeah, I don't think you can stay on point. Molfig, if you're still here, I know you guys did these sim comps a lot. I want your thoughts on this, but I really don't think you can just go this way and just go right to point without sim wall or without like Blizzard plus beat plus whatever. Because to be fair, they only have one tick to give, but I still think this is not very well played by Paris. Because like, you see how hard it is for them to like rush down anything, and they don't have the sustain. I think this is a misplay. Without Mei plus wall, yeah, I agree. I think this is a misplay by Paris. Like, Stan 1 just shouldn't have died there. I don't know if this is just a symptom of Boston's comp being kind of mediocre. Because, like, yeah, so I'm 37's positioning isn't amazing. That kind of sucks here, because, like, he's getting a little bullied here. But, like, you know what, chat? Again, this is just, I feel like this is just Ana diff. Like, not Myeonbong. Like, Myeonbong is a great Ana, but, like, what is Ana supposed to do here? The nade just whiffs. There's no lamp. There's no consistent damage. Like, the consistent damage is another thing that you're missing as well. Like, there's so much pressure BAP can put out. Just shoot, giant, shoot, heal, shoot, heal, shoot, heal, shoot. Like, there's so much more pressure on Don, on Elivo, Matrix. Like, I just don't like the Ana, man. I don't like the Ana. You're literally losing this fight because of Ana. And Elivote's just babysitting Yongbong. Like, it's so hard to get a nade window here. This is just a throw. Stanwen just dies. Like, look at the angles Boston have on this, and tell me that Stanwen should have died. Like, there's no reason Stanwen should have died there. There's just no reason. They're gonna flux. Shatter whiffs. And really, Boston should not have even come close to... Oh, that's okay. I guess we're committing here. Fine. Fair enough. Yeah, they just commit. They just hit the ult spike right when it matters. The beat plus wall. The 2 ultimates you needed.
Unstoppable. Game on. Boosters engaged.
Wait. Boston is going to turn this? Yeah, they're going to turn this. So I guess good for Boston. But they waste Blade. That sucks. Okay, so somehow Paris survives and gets an opportunity to win that. But more importantly, somehow, neither team should have won that. Like, but well, actually, Paris hit the ult spike, so it was understandable why they sustained that long. But Boston should not have won that. Boston somehow whips that one out and is able to sustain it long enough. Is micro and healing and shooting BAP? It's the cadence I just did. Yeah, basically the cadence I just did. Shoot, shoot, heal, 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 shoot, shoot, heal. That's approximately the cadence you go for. Yeah. So really, really not a great rotation from Paris, but we're seeing the problems with Boston's comp because Valentine is not putting out enough pressure because he's playing Genji, and Yongbong is not doing anything. Like, especially early on in these fights. There's no lamp to slow down the rush. There's a serious lack of damage. And because Elivote is doing a good job with cooldowns, he's not landing nades. He's not landing sleep. So there is no advantage to Ana at all. I would 10 times prefer... Okay, chat. So we talked about the one swap. The one swap that we needed from Faith to go Mercy on attack. What do you think is one swap that Boston could do in defense to make this comp better? BAP, obviously, we talked about. I think BAP would be better. But what would be a swap that DPS can make to be a lot better? Yep, Echo. I would 100% put Valentine and Echo, and this is Junkrat. Maybe Junkrat would be like a high risk, high reward comp, and it's a little bit too open for Junkrat to be really good. Like a Junkrat up here would have slapped for sure. But I want an Echo. If I'm gonna play Brig, I want an Echo. I mean, Junkrat honestly, Junkrat in some ways would be better than Genji. Yeah. But yeah, Echo is the play here. Doom could slap here as well. Yeah, sure. Doom is slap here because of easy staging, because Symmetra, and also because all you need is 1 kill. It doesn't matter if you trade. It's over if you trade. I feel like, I swear, was it... Yeah, Doom is the play. I mean, because remember way back in Uprising Academy days, we would put tap on Doomfist here against your Sim comps, and that would work okay. But yeah, Doom for sure. Anything that has like a lot of pressure and can take advantage of high ground. But I just, there's no way that they're gonna win. I mean, Onigod should honestly just stay Sim. Are they gonna stay Sim? Yeah, they're gonna stay Sim. Okay. And then we go Kree again. It bothers me, this Kree swap. This Kree swap in this particular instance was better because the short sightlines that you had to work with. But like, that's only for this particular play. Everything else Kree's lower damage and worse range. And you're talking about a map that's like the size of a flippin' football field. You know, like, I just do not understand the Kree swap at all. It just gives you a hero that wants to play a shorter sightlane so that you can be rushed, or you play a longer sightlane that's safer, but you have a worse ultimate against spam, and you do less damage at range. Kree is just flat out worse against this comp on this map. You want spam. You want long sightlane spam. I do not understand Boston's swaps. Boston feels like they're always making the bad compositional choices. Whether it's Kree, whether it's Genji, whether it's Ana or Brig instead of Mercy, they're always picking the wrong comp. Always. The TP to point surprises me. Again, the TP to point surprises me. I do not understand this. Like Molf was saying earlier, I think you have to have Sim Wall to do this. If you have to have Sim Wall, or you have to have Sim Wall plus another ultimate. So we have Blizzard here, but that's all. We don't have Beat. Bomb isn't that impactful, but you need Beat, Sim Wall. Like, you've got Blizzard, Sim Wall, Beat. If you only need 1 tick, you need 2 out of those 3. Right? You need Simwall beat, Simwall May beat. 2 ults that either sustain or clear space. Otherwise, I just think you just go high ground here. Like, I don't understand why you would not go high ground here. Like, do you think Orisa, Sigma, McCree, Genji, Ana can stop you guys from going high ground? Like, there's no way. Why is IM37 always low ground? I do not know. I do not know. There's no way that this comp should be able to stuff you at doors. There's just no way. Like, for this comp to be able to stuff this comp on these doors here, they would need Flux, Rally, Blade. At least 3 or 4 ultimates to 0 for Paris. I think Paris is getting sloppy. I think Paris is like, we only need 1 tick, just TP to point. But like, this is scary. You see how they're getting angled on here? Even though it's with Kree, even though it's with Ana, they're still getting angled on here. Like, again here, like, this is what we don't want to see if you're Paris. Big shatter though. And IM37 dies because he's on low ground. Yeah, that's just mispositioning. And that's gonna be it, I assume. Oh, maybe not. No, that's gonna be it. That should be it. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. So I'm gonna take a break to eat a little bit, and then we're gonna keep going. We'll probably go over the Steel series, some of the other Steel series, but I don't know what to say there. Like, Boston was set up mostly fine for the first fight, but they're trolling with the Ana, they're trolling with the Genji. Then again, mostly set up okay on second fight, but then they drop off of the high grounds and feed. And honestly, I think Paris kind of scuffed their second. I don't think Paris' second attacks were good at all. I think they go point. They need a better ult link for what they're doing. But the problem is Valkyrie on Blizzard isn't enough to survive on point, because what they're gonna do is, if Boston had played this properly, they Blizzard on point, but Stand 1 just fortifies and nothing happens. And meanwhile, you guys are literally dying to all the high grounds that you could have cleared. Do you see this? Myungbong and Punk should not have been able to start on high ground. You should have walked up here and sent them back to the floor. The only time you skip going high ground is when you have such a massive ult bank you can cheat. So I don't know. I don't know, Chuck. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know why Valentine's not playing Echo. I don't know why Myungbong is on Ana. I don't know why IM37 goes McCree. I don't know why Faith played Brig the entire time when Mercy in a lot of circumstances would have made more sense with the splits. I don't know why we're playing Orisa Sigma. It's probably just like a stylistic choice. I just think it's not good. So yeah, that's unfortunate.